Peace and Yah bless. Yah is a strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He is the spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk more about the Aliyah, also called the Exodus, and the final Exodus from the four corners of the earth, mentioned all throughout this book of remembrance, okay, and prophecy, okay? Major prophets and minor prophets. It's in so many places you really can't even, get to all those places, in one session, okay? On these camera phones. That's what I'm using. It will take you a few hours to get to all the places where it talks about this redemption of the children of Israel, okay? And the children also of the northern tribes, okay? Because most of them are in the land as the Palestinians today, but there's still those spread all over that Middle East, okay, who have not gotten back to the land of Israel. They're not gathered back, okay? The same as all the rest of the tribe of Yehudah, okay? And also Levites and Benjamin. We're not all gathered back to the land yet, okay? But there's a remnant of us there now in Dimona, Israel. Been there, I believe, 52 years. Okay, I think going on 53. All right. So right here in front of you is Air Spain. Okay. Air Spain. It is predicted in Isaiah that Spain, or it calls it Tarshish, okay, in the book of Isaiah, I'm going to read it to you, would lead the procession of the Exodus out of North America. Okay, the Jerusalem movement, as we told you all, the final 1/3 of the prophecy will be complete, which will make that whole entire prophecy complete whenever we make the Aliyah back home. The government arm, okay, and probably the most important arm. But as we know by Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7, that even though we are the government arm, and then even though we are coming back, through means of the elite, that we're not to magnify ourselves against the inhabitants of Dimona. Okay, our brothers and our sisters who came back, a few in 1969, but the bulk of them came back in January 1970. Okay, and then 1993, the other move came back. Yasser Arafat led that movement back. Okay, it was not Mahmoud Abbas. Mahmoud Abbas came along way after Yasser Arafat. Okay, I believe he succeeded Yasser Arafat in the PLO. Okay, but the bulk of them were brought back. Okay, in 1992, 93. All right, simple as that. Good history to know. All right, so let's go to the text. All right. Isaiah 60, open up those Bibles, get them open. Okay, I'm going to give you some time. Get them open. All right. Who are these that fly as a cloud? Okay. Now, before I read this, visualize yourself being Isaiah, seeing these aircraft coming back, bringing back the children of Israel during his time when he was prophesying. He didn't know what these things were. He just knew that they were vehicles that were flying like birds, like doves. That's why he puts the prophecy the way he puts it in Isaiah chapter 60, verses 8 and 9. That's why he puts it that way. Who are these? He's asking the question, who are these that fly as a cloud? The invention of the airplane wasn't, I'm not sure what year it was, with the Wright brothers, right? But it was definitely in the 19th century. We know that. Okay, 1900s. But at the end of the day, the key, especially ones like this, right, modern, aircraft, all right? But imagine Isaiah trying to describe what these vehicles were back during his time, where people hadn't even taken flight yet, in the air. No such thing as, okay? All right, so let's get back to it. Verse number 8, Isaiah chapter 60, okay? Just want to explain that. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as doves to their windows? It says, surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first. Okay, they're going to come first to do what? To bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yah thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he have glorified thee. Okay, Tarshish. Okay, if you looked up in the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, it'll tell you that it's Spain. Okay, if you just do a Google search, it tells you the same exact thing. Okay, it says Spain right here, right? Spain. Tarshish was an ancient city located in modern day southern Spain. Okay, so we know for sure that that's who it's talking about. Okay, Spain, Tarshish. Okay, they will be the first ones to take flight with the children of Israel. Okay, however we get that worked out. But this is the prophecy of it all happening. Okay, we don't read these things to you guys for no reason. We read them to you because it's going to happen. It's already been seen by the prophets that it's going to take place. And 2/3 of the prophecy is already fulfilled. You see it in Jerusalem right in front of your eyes. I'm talking about as far as in Damona, Israel, and the PLO themselves. Okay, if this thing wasn't going to take place, those other two movements would not have gone back. Okay, and it did not require any supernatural means to get them there. Okay, Jesus didn't get them there. Muhammad didn't get them there. Okay, Yah used just regular men to take them back, all right, and lead them back home. Okay, but because this final exodus is coming from all over the earth, this was going to be done a little bit differently. Okay, that's why Isaiah is asking this question, man. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as doves to their windows? He's asking the question. And he says, surely the isles shall wait for me, right? And the ships of Tarshish first, keyword first, okay? First, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yah thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. He has glorified us because he has set us free from captivity, okay? From the captivity of Babylon. So it's very, 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 very important that you understand this prophecy, okay? And then naturally, right here in that last verse of Isaiah 60, it tells you what? A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. It's talking about all the children we're going to have when we get back to the land of Israel. And Yah will hasten it in his time, okay? In whose time? Well, the bringing back of the children of Israel's time. He has hastened, he sped things up. Think about it, we're in 2020, right? So he sped the time up, and it's still speeding the time up, the events, right? He speeds up the events to bring us back home, to redeem us, okay? So that's what this thing is all about. You got to be able to go to this book and read and ask the Most High for understanding about it, and he'll give you understanding about it. Otherwise, you're not going to understand it. Okay? Now, if you see right here, I'm in Isaiah chapter 49. It talks more about it too. Okay? Let's start at verse 22. Thus saith Yah, okay, God, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders, talking about aircraft, okay? And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, right? That means they're going to help out, right? And their queens, notice it's plural on both of these, so it's not just the house of Rothschild, it's many kings and queens, okay? That are going to be our nursing mothers and fathers, okay? And they're going to do what? Because we are the children of Israel, they're going to bow down to thee. with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am Yah. See what Most High says? You're going to know I'm Yah. Okay? When this happens. For they shall not be ashamed that wait. Key word, wait for me. We have to wait for the Most High. Because you've had people who've taken off from here and went over to Africa, the continent of Africa, to that, whatever vassal state, whatever you want to call it, is Liberia, Monrovia. Waiting, trying to go into the land, but they're probably never going to go into the land because they have to plead before Yah before they can go into the land. Okay? So as I told many people, that's a bad idea to try to preempt the Exodus. That's what they're doing. They're trying to preempt the Exodus. They're trying to get there before everybody else. It's not going to happen. So they're going to be sitting in Monrovia a long time. Yeah, that's what I said, a long time. Okay? Let's read verse 24. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty? Okay, from the mighty, from the United States, right? From the elite, right? Or the lawful captive delivered? Notice it says the lawful. You got to be keeping the laws of Yah. Okay? The lawful captive delivered. It's a question, right? And then Yah answers the question. But thus saith Yah. Okay? Thus saith. Okay? Yah God saying this. Even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away. That's right. He's going to take us away from the door of Babylon, from the United States, and from the four corners of the earth, right? And the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. It means it's going to happen. Nothing can stop it. Okay? The elite can't even stop it. Even though they're trying to. With different means. That's why all this corona thing was all about. Okay? Trying to set up different sovereigns that ain't got nothing to do with this Jerusalem movement, and they do not serve God. Most of them are into heavy witchcraft and Satanism of all shapes and forms and sizes. What makes them think they're going to go into the land of Israel and represent God? Are you serious right now? It's not going to happen. Now listen, for I will contend with him that contendeth with thee, and I will save thy children. So you got to be a lawful captive to be delivered. Okay? A lawful captive. All right? Keeping the laws of Yah. Okay? Because asking that question, shall they be delivered? The lawful captive? The Most High is giving his word. He says, thus saith Yah. See, he's declaring it by himself with his own name. Thus saith Yah. Even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. It's going to happen. Nothing can stop it. Period. Doesn't matter what the elite want or when they want it or how they want to do it. It ain't going to be on their timeline or 2 or 3 years down the road, whatever the case. It's going to be when Yah say, take us, we going. Okay? Now, the key word is us. It ain't just the house of David. It's not just the governor by himself. It's all of the captives must be set free. Now, I'm going to declare this to the elite today on this date, okay? All of the captives must be set free. Not some, all of them. All that are called upon the name of Yah and want to go serve his name. And also there'll be strangers who do what? Who attach themselves to us. That's okay that they do that. That are going to want to come out. Okay, so let's get back to the prophecy. Ezekiel 16. Open up your Bible. I done told y'all, okay? Now, this is the prophecy of it all coming about in 3 different ways. When thy sister Sodom and her daughter shall return to their former estate. The key is former estate in Israel, okay? They've done that. 1969, 1970, led by Ben-Ami Carter. And Samaria and her daughter shall return to their former estate. That is the Palestinian Liberation Organization, who are in the West Bank right now. It was anciently called Samaria, and they're anciently called Samaria, and sometimes Ephraim and Manasseh, those 2 tribes, right? The house of Joseph. Now, I know that's kind of complicated. You got to read the Bible to figure that out, right? Then the Most High tells you, right? So these 2 have been fulfilled right in front of your faces. You see it. You can Google it and see these people, okay? So this prophecy only has 1/3 to go. Then thou, talking about Jerusalem, right? That's talking about the very beginning, Because that's what this prophecy, that's who's being talked to all throughout Ezekiel 16. Then thou, talking about Jerusalem, and thy daughters shall return to your former estate. Okay? Didn't say go back to Africa. It didn't say we had to do that. Okay? Because what? We're lawful captives. A lawful captive don't have to plead before Yah, because he's already keeping Yah's laws and have done so. Okay? And knows what it's all about and can function and operate if we were to go home today inside of the law without messing up. Okay? Simple as that. Okay? So you go back to the beginning of Ezekiel right here. It tells you who the Most High is talking to. Right? And say, thus saith Yah, God unto Jerusalem. Then it goes on and begins telling Jerusalem all of her wicked and lewd ways, and how she did worse than the other two sister movements, okay? All right? By copying what they were doing and doing it. Because we were supposed to be an example to the rest of the tribe by not going and worshiping idols and idolatry and doing all kind of heinous things back in the day. That's what this whole Ezekiel 16 is really all about. You see, it says God's judgment right there. Okay? All right? He's giving pronouncements against. He gives pronouncements against all three movements, but in particular Jerusalem. That's why we go back last. Okay? That's why over in Zechariah chapter 7, when the Most High is talking, he's like, yo, Sodom, her daughters, goes back first. Okay? They preempt the Jerusalem movement. So he didn't want us to go back first, because we be still over today bragging about it, right? The Most High said, no, we got to bear our shame all the way to the 400-year end, okay? And we did so all the way to 2019, the end of 2019. Here we are, 2020. Once again, number 20 is a number of redemption, so we must return home in 2020. Simple as that. Now you got these elites or whatever, they don't want to make it happen, but it's going to happen. Yah's going to make it happen. And by whatever means he makes it happen. Remember what happened to Pharaoh. Pharaoh was doing the same thing. He was doing this jockeying for position. He was going back and forth with the Most High, going back and forth with Moses over and over. He said he let him go, then he changed his mind. Then he said let him go, then he changed his mind. Then he said let him go, and he changed his mind. Finally, the Most High hit Pharaoh with all, and all of Egypt, right, with all those plagues. And then finally, when he removed the firstborn of all of Egypt and all the cattle, then he let them go. Okay? And even after that, they still tried to come after the children of Israel. That's when Moses opened up the sea, right? Well, Yah doing it. But opened up the sea. And as they went across, as soon as they got across, drowned all of Pharaoh's horses and men. And you can actually go on YouTube and they have video where you can see the wheels still on the ocean floor from that event that happened. The Bible is real, man. Okay? All right? So these are the things we want you all to know. Now, let's get to some more information that I have, okay? There has to be a formal call, okay? A formal call out, okay? Okay? There has to be a formal call out. In other words, at the judgment of Esau, right? When we see it happen, when it happens, and it's going to happen, there's going to have to be a call out, okay? A formal call out, okay? A formal call out has to preempt any travel, okay? So in other words, you don't want to be trying to take yourself over to the Holy Land right now because it's not time for us to be there yet, okay? So there has to be a formal call out that has to preempt any travel, okay? In my notes, our hope is that we shall announce such a matter from the United Nations in New York. So we'll go before the whole world, me, right? I will go before the whole world and I will make this announcement, okay, about the Aliyah and when it is and all the preparedness that I will give the people at that particular time as far as what they need to do, okay? But there has to be a formal call out where the whole world hears the call. Because remember, Jeremiah 23 tells us that people are coming from all over the world, okay? It ain't just going to be just from the United States itself, okay? And Jeremiah 23 tells you that, okay? I'll turn there and go over that before I this video ends. And I'll try to make this as quick as I can because I know there's a whole lot, here to consider and deal with. Okay? All right? So, now this call out may happen several times to be sure that the world populace has heard about it and everybody understands it, right? Then the people will probably have a set amount of time to sell their possessions, or they can get shipping containers to send to their new destination in Israel. Okay? They can also opt, to leave them, right? To non-traveling people who don't want to go, right? Because not everybody's going to want to go, right? They're just tied up in the United States and that's what they like. No problem, okay? But those who are not traveling, they can leave their possessions with their friends or family, or they can just sell it, okay? As we know, many people will not make the Aliyah, okay? Now, as far as other options, this is an idea for me, we can develop a website, right, for voluntary sign-up. So we have a voluntary sign-up list to make the Aliyah. Now, naturally, it'll be private, okay? All right? But the patrons who sign up, they may be selected, right, by approval or by another process not mentioned yet, okay? Then the individuals will leave out when they are selected to depart, okay? All right? They will be notified by, FBI or the Secret Service by phone or some secret means or whatever about the date of their departure to Israel, okay? Now, this still would be one exodus. It just, it wouldn't take every single person all at the same time, that wants to go. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of bring them out, trickle them in like that, okay? Now, as far as shipping containers and things like that, it is highly unlikely the elite will finance any shipping containers for you to move your possessions to make the Aliyah. That's simply going to be a private matter, okay? Now, see here my notes, okay? Here are the options. Option A, you sell your possessions, okay? You'll have time to do that, okay? Because we're not going out in haste, right? Option B, you can auction or give them away, right, to your friends, family, etc. Option C, you can, I have buy, but you can rent a shipping container, right? Okay. Option D, give them away to your family or friends. Option E, you can just leave them. Now, if you leave them, what will happen is the Secret Service or the FBI or whoever's heading this thing, right? They will see that you made the Aliyah and that you've left your possessions. Okay. What they'll do is they'll photograph your possessions and they will notify you about your possessions to see whether or not, you want to, get them, right? Or retrieve them from the United States, okay? So what they'll do is they'll give you like 60 days or something like that, to recover anything that's yours. If you don't recover it within the 60 days, then what they'll do, they'll just sell it and keep the proceeds. You know what I mean? Because apparently you didn't want them. You know what I mean? So let's discuss citizenship and this video will be over. Now, citizenship. With many people making the Aliyah and going over to Israel one of these days, right? Okay. As soon as Yah is ready to make it happen. I guess the question will probably be, will people have to, will the government want them to give up their citizenship to the United States? Or will they just have dual citizenship? Okay. They can remain citizens of the United States, but also have dual citizenship in Israel. Okay. For those making the Aliyah. Okay? Now, they may ask you to relinquish your citizenship because, once you go, they're probably not going to want you to come back. Okay? And believe me, it's going to be so great, Israel, you're not going to want to come back anyway once we get done with it, right? Okay? So, what that's saying is, meaning if you try to return to the United States, then you would have to go through the same process that a foreigner comes over here goes through. You have to start all over, go through the process of regaining your citizenship. Should you get over to Israel and you're not satisfied, you know what I'm saying? Or you get homesick. If you get homesick, I want to go back and eat a hamburger, at McDonald's or Burger King or, or whatever, White Castle or whatever the case is, right? And you just can't take it, you want to come back home, well, then there may be a process where you got to start all over because you relinquish your citizenship, okay? Or, like I said, you may have dual citizenship, okay? We'll see how the U.S. government and whoever the president at that time is, right? How we'll do this thing, okay? But these things, I hope, answer some of your questions. And like I tell people, you already know in your heart what you want to do. So it's just up to you to do it. Okay? Does it have to remain a secret? Not to me. Not to me, because it doesn't really matter. If a person wants to go to Israel and they want to spend the rest of their life over there, I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? If that's what they want to do. All right? Do you got to tell everybody? Well, no, I'm not saying that. But I think it's okay to make people aware, aware of that. All right? Simple as that, all right? All right, well, let's go to the prophecy in Jeremiah 23. So we're in Jeremiah chapter 23. All right? Verse number 7. Therefore, behold, the days come that they shall no more say, Yah liveth, which brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. For Yah liveth, which brought up, and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. And, listen, from all the countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. That's the Exodus coming from all over the world. Man, I told you, it can't be stopped. We don't care about Esau hearing it. I mean, they hear all kind of things. Okay? Doesn't matter if they hear this thing, coming from me or coming from, any other servants. I mean, at the end of the day, Yah is the one that's in control of this thing. He's going to make it happen. It's not going to be something done, lackadaisical. We're not going to do this, lackadaisical. Okay? There's no need to do a lackadaisical. We know ahead of time that it's going to happen, so we can make plans in that it's going to happen. And as I told you guys in Isaiah 52, what's the Most High say? Depart ye, go ye out from thence. Talking about the daughter of Babylon, right? Or wherever you are. Touch no unclean thing. Go ye out of the midst of her. Talking about Babylon, right? Be ye clean that bear the vessels of Yah. Talking about the Levites right there, okay? Talking about them and the peoples, right? For ye shall not go out with haste. Okay? We're not going out with haste, nor by flight. In other words, not fast. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's going to be an organized effort. There'll be a call out, like I said, made from the United Nations, right? But we're not going to go out with haste, nor are we going out with flight. We're not going out fast. We'll have time to sell possessions and put things together for you to make sure we can facilitate this move to the Holy Land for all who want to make the Aliyah, okay? All right? For Yah will go before you. The God of Israel will be your reward. See, that's the key right there. See, Yah is not going before you when you try to go over to Monrovia. Okay, right now, for all those who over there, still over there. Yah is not before you. So really, y'all in big trouble over there. You don't really realize it yet. Think you're on a good vacation. Well, you're going to find out in a little while you're not. Okay, because that place is supposed to be for what? Meant for rebels and transgressors. It ain't meant for anybody else. It ain't meant for the Jerusalem movement. Okay? If you end up over there, you got to plead for your life before Yah. And Yah is going to decide whether he's going to leave you alive or whether he's going to kill you. One of the two. That's what it's all about. And I'm here to tell you that up front. Okay? So going there didn't do any of you any good. For however many people are still staged over there. It's not going to do you any good. But don't listen to me. Do whatever you want to do. Okay? It's right here in the book. Okay? It's right here in the book for you to look at. Okay? Jerusalem movement goes back to Jerusalem. We don't got to go back through Monrovia, go back through the African continent to get back. That's silly. That's what Ezekiel chapter 20 is all about, right? Okay? And we read to you guys so many times. Read it and we're going to go. We read this thing to you guys 100 times, but for some reason, you guys, your ears don't work for whatever reason about what we're telling you this. People keep, going over there. You know what I'm saying? What are you going over there for, man? Okay? Basically judgment. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna catch some kind of judgment. Or you got to plead, before Yah, for your life, for him to leave you alive and let you come on in the land. Once the Most High has decided it's okay for you to come out, then he'll let you do that, right? That's what it talks about here in Ezekiel chapter 20. Okay? All right, I'm only going to read this one verse. And I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the countries where they sojourn. That's what's happening right now with a lot of people. He's bringing them forth out, okay? And they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And you should know that I am Yah. Okay, simple as that. Okay? Notice the words. They shall not enter into the land of Israel. Okay? Because a lot of you guys that came out, most of y'all should have already been walked in. Okay? All right? And even you went to Demona, you ain't walking in Jerusalem. Okay? Simple as that. Okay? The Most High said He's going to bring you out from those countries. Okay? Yeah, people are going to come out. But the Most High is going to plead with you face to face. He's going to plead with you face to face. Okay? So you got to go when it's time to go. You can't go ahead of time. You're not going to beat nobody to the Holy Land. Okay? Especially being a rebel or a transgressor. And if you get over there too early, you might get ran out with the Zionists. So I'm talking about if you were like Jewish or of another race other than being an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, black people. So you have to wait for Yah and let Him go before you, as it says right there in Isaiah 52. Wait on Yah, let Him go before you. Okay? Let Him go before you. In other words, you have His approval. He'll protect you in flight, that you land in Ben Gurion Airport in one piece. Okay? So that is the Exodus process. Okay? I'll add more to it as I go along and give you guys more information as I go along. So stay tuned in. Thank you all for listening. Peace. Y'all bless.